Hello, everyone. I am Jean Kelleher, Manager of Program Standards and Quality Assurance. I've been with PDE for 13 years, and I started at PDE as the Family and Consumer Science Program Specialist. Tammy, would you like to introduce yourself now?
I am the CATS Program Specialist for the Bureau, and I have been with the Bureau of Career and Technical Education for going on 22 years.
Thanks. Thank you for attending the Integrated Learning Conference and taking time to learn about the new CATS system in the Future Ready Comprehensive Planning Portal. The new portal is set to open and be ready to be used for the 22-23 school year, starting in February 2022, for new program submission and reapprovals for PDE approved programs for high schools and school districts.
The team at PLS and PDE tried to make this new system easier for school districts and CTCs, along with making the reviews easier as well. This would help to hold all programs accountable from the very beginning. This presentation points out some of the new enhancements, such as availability to upload documents into the new system, task grids with courses aligned, accountability targets uploaded annually, and to complete charts with information.
Along with the good and new enhancements, we hope that we have the old enhancements that we have available, and we'll be able to keep some of those old favorites that we know and love, such as the PDE 320, which is a report where you can print out all the approved programs that your school holds in the system. Also, student industry certifications report, and the program profile, which is a button where you can click and print the whole program profile. It has all of the specific information, and it has the scope and sequence, teacher certification, and all of that. So we're going to keep some of the good old stuff.
Some of the changes in the specific info tab are: schools will need to upload 2 letters of support. A radial button will be available to click identifying what group approved the OAC, a chart to complete for all the OAC members, and an upload of the last 2 OAC mini minutes.
Here is a screenshot showing you the OAC Occupational Advisory Committee chart, where the school will list the member name, place of employment, their job title, and the last column will be a drop down where you would be able to choose the OAC members' representation on the committee. So they would be working in the training occupation. Those would be the people who are actually doing the work: management, labor, or personnel from the business owner, perhaps, CTE students, graduates of the program, a community member, post-secondary representative, and of course we have other in there for any other people that you would include.
If your school is applying for a new PDE approved pathway, the new system will only populate the designated approved pathways. The new system will also require the task grids to crosswalk to the courses. Course catalogs will need to be uploaded into the new system. You can also upload a link to your course catalog if you don't have an electronic version available. This will also allow for easier verification of courses offered at the school district or CTC.
The accountability target area will have the state targets listed, and if you have negotiated targets, you will enter them in the column for negotiated targets, along with your school performance for each target area. The school will also type in the NOCTI test title and code, along with the expected level of performance for NOCTI and Keystone assessment in this area.
We will also be collecting the projected number of students to be enrolled in the program. As you can see, the equipment, technology, and resources will have their own boxes. It is possible that schools can cut and paste from information in other areas into this document. We are working with the programmers to hopefully have the option to upload a document or cut and paste.
The support services area is split into 3 separate areas from what you would see in the old CATS viewpoint. Box 1 is a text box where you can add all the information of the teacher's involvement in IEPs before, during the student's involvement in their program. You'll be able to list all the guidance services as well as ELL services provided to all students, and this is required and must be provided. And I just wanted to mention that after meeting at the PACTA seminar in the summer, we asked the programmers, after we had input from the directors and whoever was at that presentation, that maybe that this field could become a school-wide field along with several others that we identified, so that once you enter this once, it will always pre-populate for every additional program that you enter into the system. So we hope this adds a little less stress to your life, that it's already going to be there once you put it in there. So, Tammy.
For the career and technical student organizations, a drop-down box will appear. For each approved program, you will select a CTSO that is integrated into the program. There is a space for the chapter charter number and any additional information you may want to include.
Career and technical student organizations are a requirement for program approval. There will be a drop-down box listing the career and technical student organizations, and you will be able to click on the organization that aligns to the program and upload a roster list or invoice if it's a new program, because you will have to have a student organization.
The advisory committee box will allow you to add all committees at your LEA by entering the committee name, meeting frequency, most recent meeting date, topics of discussion for each committee, and upload the LAC meeting. We are hoping that this will also be a school-wide box where it would populate with each of the programs you enter.
Scope and sequence area will remain similar with the same element tabs for secondary scope and sequence, post-secondary scope and sequence, dual enrollment, and articulated credits. And for every additional articulation agreement the school has, the secondary scope and sequence will only need to be entered one time, and it will pre-populate for every additional scope and sequence that you would need to enter into the system. And it will pre-populate the courses that you teach for that program area. Tammy.
Student and teacher industry credential and teacher certification screens will look much the same as it does now. A TIMS pop-up message will appear when you're entering this information as a reminder to update the teacher email in TIMS if it has changed.
Especially if a teacher moves schools and they want to use their school email in the TIMS system, they may opt to use a personal email. So it's just a pop-up reminder. The sponsor tab is where the school will enter the apprenticeship sponsor number and name. That will remain pretty much the same.
For the industry accreditation tab, the user will enter the industry accreditation and expiration date as they do now. Examples are ACF and NATEF.
The submission and signed assurance tab is going to be different. The new Future Ready Comprehensive Planning Portal will track your entries, and the user will see a green arrow, a green check mark, sorry, that will show your progress within the application. Once you complete and have all the green arrows, you will sign the signed assurances electronically or internally in the system. No more having to send, email, or USPS mail the signed assurances to PDE.
If you have any questions, please reach out to Jean or myself using the information on this slide. Thank you.
Okay, so what can you do to prepare for this new project now? Just before we hit the questions, maybe some of these answers will solve some of your questions. All right, so you should be able to prepare documents ahead of time in preparation for uploading into the new portal. The task grid and course title crosswalks you can start working on, because last year we had a very large revision of task grids. So you want to make sure you have your task grids out to your teachers so that they can align the tasks to which course those tasks are taught in. Local articulation agreements. You will need to upload articulation agreements into the system. So what you want to do in preparation for this February rollout is to look at your old articulation agreements and make sure that they're within the last 5 years. If not, you'll want to reach out to your post-secondary partners and get them renewed. And then new for this year is school districts and career and tech centers. You have to put all of your articulation agreements, dual enrollment agreements on the school district webpage by September 30th per Act 76, as Lee mentioned yesterday in her opening session. So something else you can work on. Update your list of OAC members and make sure you have the agendas and the meeting minutes available to upload as well. Your accountability targets and your performance data, you want to make sure that you have those available, especially if you have your negotiated targets, you'd be able to find those in your Perkins grant. And then your performance data that you will have for your school. And we're not really looking for your school's performance data for the high schools. We're looking for the performance data of your CTE students. So easy way to do that is to prepare an Excel spreadsheet with each student and all the accountability target areas and keep track of a spreadsheet in that format. Course catalogs, as Tammy mentioned, will need to be uploaded or a link put into the system that will send us right to your course catalog if you have it online. List of equipment, you can work on that with your teachers so that you have that to upload, and materials and resources that are used in the program area. Working on your statement of support for guidance services and the ELL and IEP processes that you have at your school. If you work on developing those statements now, they'll be easy to cut and paste into the system. You'll want to also make sure you have CTSO affiliated for this school year, because that's the information you would put into the system in February. And then, of course, your local advisory committees. You probably would like to develop a statement of the committees that you have for your school. LAC is the required one, but I know many schools have many other committees, and you can put the topics of discussion and the dates of their last meeting. So those are some ideas of things that you can start working on currently to be ready and prepared for the February rollout. So now we'll take some questions if you have any questions.
Yes, we do. So we have, how do these things translate for post-secondary education using the system?
Want to take that, Tammy?
So the post-secondary reporting will still be in the old CAT system. This new CAT system only applies to the secondary schools.
Okay. Let me go through the chat. We have people putting questions in the chat. Give me one moment to see them through. We are required to have a parent on the committee. Will CTE parent be an option on the drop-down menu?
We could look at that, yes. Tammy will take notes for the programmers.
All right.
Could also put it under other and just put parent.
We have a question about providing a copy of the PowerPoint. I did put a link to their PowerPoint in the chat. It is also linked in the matrix. If you go to that session on the matrix, right under the Zoom information is a link to presentation materials, but I did stick it in the chat. Will esports be a club on the list, as that is part of networking and other computer-based programs?
That would not be a career and technical student organization as approved by the federal government. So no.
Okay.
For an answer to that one, Skills USA, TSA, I believe those would be appropriate for computer-based programming.
What date will this be available to start entering data?
Well, good question, Missy. We wish we knew the answer to that, but we always open CATS in the month of February, and you have until May 31st to enter your information and submit it for our reapproval or review for a new approval. So we're hoping it might be open. We're looking for some school districts, and we've had some volunteers already say they would like to help check it out, make it break, or figure out how to get it working before everybody's into the system. So if you're interested in being one of those schools, let us know. But we hope sometime in February, because that's when we normally open CATS.
Okay. A couple more questions in the chat. And I've asked that everybody, if you could put your questions in the Q&A panel, that would be great. That would help us to track and record all of the questions and answers. What details are required in the statement of support from guidance in special education?
Okay, for the statement of support from special ed, what we're looking for is that the teacher is involved in the IEP team as a team member before and during the student's participation in the career and technical program. And then guidance, we're looking for what all services your guidance counselors are providing for your students. Are they doing career exploration? Are they doing interest inventory? And then, just things like that. If you look at the 8 tool, which is the approved program evaluation tool under section 17, that also will give you some idea of what we expect the guidance counselors to provide to the school students.
Can you please provide a written list of what will be required to upload? Jean went through the list, but I was unable to document everything she read off, unfortunately.
I do have a chart already typed up that is ready to go out that I basically went off of as I was presenting. So I'm not sure that they're all going to be uploaded, but I can certainly send that list to you and identify what we have hopeful will be an upload in the system.
Okay. Upload. Okay, we answered that one. Please repeat what you said about student performance data.
Okay, Lisa, the student performance data is the accountability statewide targets will be automatically uploaded. And if you have negotiated performance standards or targets, I mean to say, you would enter them and you would find them in your eGrant system as part of your Perkins grant. And then the performance data is the last column where you will enter the student's performance of the CTC programs, not all students at your school district. We're interested in how your CTE students are performing. Does that help you, Lisa?
Yes, thank you. Okay, so all secondary schools will be adding information into the new system in the spring. Will anything be there from the old system?
The old system we will have for history. So if you need to get back into the system to check history, it will be available. The new system, nothing will be imported over. You will have to go back in and enter all your programs again for approval. We're hoping to at least have your program names, the SIPs, populated, so you just need to click on them to start filling in your information. But at this time, we haven't been told if that's possible.
Okay, for post-secondary, will all information entered last year roll over when CATS opens in February?
All information in the old CAT system for post-secondary will roll over as long as it is in approved or submitted status. If it is in process or return status, the information will purge.
Great. What will be transferred from the current system to the new system?
Nothing will be transferred. As I had said with the SIP codes, we're hoping that the approved SIPs that are in the old system will at least transfer over. At this point, we're not sure if that's possible yet.
Okay.
So Andra, your SIP codes will be in the new system, and you can have access to the old CAT system. So if your information is updated, now you're at a career and tech center. So the only thing you're going to be required to do is enter any brand new programs into this new system. You were through the reapproval process this current school year, so your programs have already been reapproved in the old system. So any new programs that a school or a CTC would enter would go into the new CAT system. And eventually we'll get all of your other approved programs at the Career and Tech Centers into the new system.
Will instructions for the new system be available on the PDE website?
We are hoping, Tammy, that the instructions are in the system. So we won't have to have separate instructions. They should be right in the system as you're in the comprehensive portal.
Okay. Will we be able to print from the old system? I tried to print profile last week and there was no button for it.
And you will be able to print from the old system. You need to ensure when you are in the old system that you are in the web browsers of Edge or Google Chrome. CATS does not play friendly with any other web browser. That could be why. If you find that that's still an issue, please send me an email and we'll work on getting that resolved for you.
I don't have any questions in the question and answer panel right now. Oh, one just popped up. Missy, you had mentioned articulations on websites by September 2022. Does a chart of them suffice, or does it have to be all of the actual signed agreements?
The actual agreements is what I'm understanding. So a chart would be great if you could set up a chart with the articulation and then link it to the signed agreement. That would be probably a good way to do it. Keep it organized. Yes, but the parents and the students and anyone should be able to see exactly what the articulation is.
I am just looking through the chat to make sure. I'm sure you are too, Jean. Make sure we captured all the questions that were in there.
I think we did. Does anybody have any other questions? I mean, we're ending half an hour early. You can go jump in on another session, and you can always reach out to Tammy or myself with any questions on this new process. We're new at it too, so you're going to have to bear with us this current year because it's going to open up and we haven't even seen all the total screenshots. So we're anxiously awaiting as well as you are. So we're hoping it opens soon for us to view. So if you have any questions, just reach out to Tammy or myself.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for that session. That was wonderful. And remember, a recording of this session will be available. So if you would like to listen to it again, and we'll also have the questions and answers that came in as a script as well. So you can review the answers.
All right, thank you for attending.
Yes,
Thank
I'll
you.
leave the session open for a little bit since we're early. And then, yeah, if you want to hop on another session, you're more than welcome to do that.
Lori,
And
can you unmute everyone if somebody would like to talk?
I cannot do that,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Right.
I can allow them to raise their hand if they have a
Okay.
question, and I can unmute them individually.
Okay.
We have one. Let me find who it is. Tammy, allow to talk. Okay, Tammy, you should be able to unmute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you're gonna, a list of things we could be starting to work on now to prepare for February. You're gonna make that available to us?
I will send that to Lori as soon as we get off of this. Tammy, are you at North Montco?
Yes, I'm at North Montco, yes.
So you won't have to do any of this unless you're opening new programs.
Oh,
This is for new programs at the Career and Tech Centers and all high schools who have to come through the reapproval process.
so it isn't for CTEs then?
CTCs will eventually have to come into this new program system, yes, but not this current February.
Oh, okay, so, all right.
A little less stress for you, okay?
Yes. Okay, so I don't have to worry about this right now, but for the future, this is what it's going to look like
Correct.
for every. Now, I think we are looking to start 2 new programs. So I would have to use this system for that, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Oh, thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else have any questions? Oh, there's Charity.
Charity, let me allow her to talk. Okay, Charity, you should be able to unmute.
Hi guys, can you
Hi.
hear me? Hello,
Yes.
good morning. So I'm new to Dauphin County Technical School and I'm the outreach coordinator. I'll be responsible for the articulation agreements, and I know this was asked before. I just want to have some clarification. So we do not have any new programs starting, but I will have to make sure that the articulation agreements are uploaded by September 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else that I need to know for our school specifically with this new program?
With this new system, are you post-secondary, did I hear you say?
No, we're a comprehensive
Okay.
high school. We're a
Right, no, I know
technical high school.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if you were doing post-secondary stuff. If you have any new programs that you want to open and get PDE approval for, you would use this system for any
Okay.
new programs.
Okay, perfect. But I will need to use it for the articulation agreements.
Well, the articulation agreements you're going to put on your own homepage website. So you would maybe create a document and link all your articulation agreements to a document and then upload that to your to Dauphin County Schools webpage.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Thanks.
ma'am. Thank you.